let's assume that there is going to be some sort of regulation of stablecoins. How much of this is related to an eventual central bank digital currency play by the US government? Are they essentially clearing the field for their own competitor, or are they really concerned that these assets won't keep their pegs and that US consumers using these products are going to be hurt? Is this a really kind of plowing the field so it's fertile for a US digital dollar, or is this really about protecting consumers here?
You know, I think that the central banks have always had the ability to create their own cryptocurrency. And the more they learn about it, the more they may want to. But that doesn't mean that there's still not a place for privately created and issued stablecoins. And they should, watch the industry, and if they want to, come and play, they can, but they shouldn't try to keep everyone else off the field.
So you've heard us over and over talk about how various regulators think about these assets differently. If you like to read about law the way that I do, you can find a case that says that Bitcoin is money. You can read tax guidance that says that Bitcoin is property. You can read the CEA and you'll be sure that Bitcoin is a commodity. And if you ask the former chairman of the SEC, they all look like securities to him. We've talked about how stablecoins potentially could be regulated by justice, by the CFTC, by the SEC, and by bank regulators. Our assets are confusing to the government because they don't look like, smell like, or act like traditionally issued by financial institutions and actors in the financial markets. This can create some serious headaches for users and businesses that use these assets. Is the US doing this right? Is there anywhere that's doing it better?
I think a lot of the regulators around the globe are doing a better job. And they're able to do it because in certain countries that have recently, like within the last few years, created regulatory frameworks, they've done it from one particular regulator. And so the regulator in certain countries, like Singapore, Abu Dhabi, they develop a comprehensive regulatory framework that looks at the character of the asset and how the asset is used. And I think that works very well in places that don't have so many different regulators. But here in the US, unless they come together and unless Congress creates, we're going to see some hesitancy, I think, from the mainstream financial institution and from some crypto companies. Wherever there's uncertainty, companies are going to be hesitant to jump into the market. And unless we in the US develop more comprehensive and clear regulatory guidance, we might see more companies doing more active business in other countries, and that would never be a good thing for the US.
Let's talk about NFTs for a minute.
Sure.
You are very vocal about NFTs, and I think the alternative uses for NFTs, like royalties and paying artists along the way in other ways, you being vocal about supporting and that being a very good use case for NFTs. Which ones give you the most excitement? Which ones changed your views? Because
yeah, I mean, it's fun to have fun with the big ones, right? The CryptoPunks and the Bored Apes and the mutants and all that. But to me, those are just proof of concepts for smart contracts. At the Mavericks, we looked at having NFTs as actual tickets, but it's a hassle, because, and don't start sending me Git protocol and all this other bullshit, right? Because, yes, we looked into them, but the reality is you've got to deal not just with crypto literate people, but with non-crypto literate people as well. And so what we ended up doing was, we're a partner with Ticketmaster, and if you buy a ticket and you scan it at your game by the end of the first quarter, we are going to automatically create a wallet for you if it's not already created when you log into your Ticketmaster account, and you'll see an NFT from the Dallas Mavericks there. And what's happening is people are starting to collect and trade them, and we've done no promotion on it whatsoever. So people who want to are selling their NFTs for more than they paid for the ticket, And so, I just want, for me, NFTs in terms of collectibles fall into two categories. You're selling them because you want to make some money from it, And that's not a bad thing, but most people are going to fail at that. It's hard to get enough of a market to sell an NFT. And everybody wants to do it because everybody thinks they have some level of talent or some good reason or some justification to say, my NFT is great because, and people will buy it for this reason. But it's hard. It's hard, and it's hard to build a community that's going to buy it. It's hard to build the community that's going to sustain it so that there's liquidity there so people can trade it. And people don't recognize how hard that is. So we decided to give them away for free as a reward. And because they're free, everybody thinks, okay, this is great, I love it because it costs me nothing. And oh, by the way, the people who couldn't go to the game because they don't live in Dallas or it was sold out or whatever, if they want one, I can sell it. And so, NFTs have been great, and there'll be just more and more applications for them. But again, to me, it's just a proof of concept for smart contracts.